Do you believe that fundamentally that you're a better boxer than him?
I do believe I'm a better boxer, but I do believe that my boxing IQ and toughness as well, and I got a good chin.
Joseph Parker has just delivered a chilling warning to Daniel Dubois ahead of their highly anticipated February 22nd showdown. Parker made it clear that Dubois should never underestimate him, as he promises to bring every skill to the table and leave nothing behind in the ring. Laughing off Dubois' claim that he isn't as tough as Anthony Joshua, Parker is determined to make him eat his words. Alexander Usyk's recent words have undoubtedly injected a new level of intensity into the already high-stakes showdown between Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois. He spoke to Sky Sports News saying, "I will fight who will win, Joseph Parker, Daniel Dubois, no problem. I think 2 years, 1.5. I feel great myself. I feel I have 2 fights to prepare." His statement has added an extra layer of intensity to the fight, as both fighters now know that a victory could lead them to a showdown with one of the most dominant figures in boxing. Ahead of his match, Daniel Dubois has recently dismissed claims from Frank Warren that his world title win has changed him. While Warren believes the victory has elevated Dubois, Daniel confidently stated that he feels like the same fighter as before, only improving with each fight.
What if I ask you, you walked to the ring as the champion against Anthony Joshua, but since that night, Frank Warren, Don Charles, Kieran Farrell, everyone said, he really carries himself like a champion now. He walks with a step, he's got a bounce, he's got a whole new confidence. Do you feel like that belt has just elevated you to a whole new level?
I feel still the same fighter as I was before, just getting better, improving. They say when you win the world title, you improve. So I feel like that's what's happening for me.
Dubois acknowledges that winning a world title is supposed to level you up, but for him, it's simply an opportunity to showcase how much he's been progressing. Despite the changes others claim to see, he remains determined to prove himself against anyone that steps in front of him.
I'm just ready to show gut and show what I can do again and to conquer whoever they put in front of me.
As Frank Warren recently talked about the drastic shift in Dubois' approach. Speaking with Sky Sports Boxing, he shared his belief that Dubois has grown as a fighter both physically and mentally.
Daniel Dubois, he walks with a new confidence, he talks with a new confidence. I just wonder, that win against Anthony Joshua, the difference that has made to, it was one great night, but the kick on from that now, he seems like he's found a whole new confidence. Would you agree with that?
I do. And the Hrgovic fight and the Babe Miller fight, he's progressing on.
Warren pointed out Dubois' impressive record, including unexpected wins against Hrgovic and Babic. At 27, Dubois seems to be reaching his peak and is now entering his upcoming fight against Joe Parker as the favorite for the first time in 5 bouts. Despite the tough competition Parker presents, Warren thinks Dubois' growth will push him through.
And he was an underdog in his last 4 fights, including Usyk. He was the underdog, and he's upset the odds in 3 of those fights. And as you say, 27 years of age, he's matured not just physically but mentally. He's showing what he's all about, and he's in a fight, first time for the last in 5 fights he goes in as a favourite against the former world champion in Joe Parker, who is on a roll, a big roll at the moment.
Most boxing experts, however, lean toward Parker as the favorite in this matchup. David Adell, who recently sparred with both Dubois and Parker, shared that either fighter could win, but hinted that Parker might have the edge in this fight. His comments reflected the belief that while Dubois has potential, Parker's experience and skill could see him through to victory.
Good fight. Won't be surprised whoever wins, but if I got an edge, Parker might be able to pull it through, and yeah.
Similarly, Fabio Wardley shared his thoughts, saying that Parker's tactical game plan, especially with coach Andy Lee by his side, would be crucial. Wardley acknowledged his slight favoritism toward Parker, hoping to see him win the bout.
Again, the tactical plan I think him and Andy Lee will put together will be incredible. So, yeah. If I'm edging it and you're forcing me for one, then I'd probably maybe a little bit of favoritism, but I'd edge it to Parker for me. I think I want to see him come through. I want to see him get the win.
Dubois himself continues to label himself the underdog in his journey. He acknowledges that he has not changed since his early career, and he still approaches every fight with the hunger and intensity of someone fighting for recognition. In a recent interview, Dubois emphasized that he doesn't view himself as the favorite, even with the recent world title win. His mentality remains grounded as he prepares for another tough challenge, fully expecting a dogfight in the ring.
Does that make a difference to you, or do you still harbour that underdog tag, that against the odds mentality?
Yeah, I'm still hungry for more success and more victories, more belts. So I still feel like the underdog, and in my mind, I'm going out there to yeah, still same mentality and still the same old dog, and make it a dog fight out there.
Joseph Parker has confidently decoded Daniel Dubois' strengths and weaknesses, saying that he knows how to beat him. Parker acknowledged that while Dubois has shown mental resilience in past fights, he wonders if the young fighter can push through tough moments when the going gets really hard.
A lot of the build-up programming on all platforms is out there now, and one of the big statements that you made is you suggested, quite openly, that if the going gets tough, that you do believe that he could mentally quit on February 22nd. Do you stand by that?
I do stand by that. However, he has shown the ability to go through hard times in the recent fights he's had. But if times do get hard, can he still maintain that ability, or does he revert back to type? So
Parker believes that if things get tough, Dubois may revert to his old habits, and that's when he'll be ready to capitalize. Parker is prepared to bring speed, power, accuracy, and movement into the fight, confident in his abilities to overcome Dubois in the ring.
I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings, but I know what I'm going to bring as well. I'm going to bring speed, power, accuracy, movement, and I'm very confident in what I can do in the ring.
In response to Parker's remarks, Daniel Dubois fired back, stating that while others can say whatever they want, he's fully ready for the fight. He emphasized the hard work and intense training he's put in every day, indicating that he's not taking this challenge lightly.
Well, that sounds great to us. What about Joseph Parker? We've been watching all the build-up stuff that we've seen, and some of the same old lines. We can break his heart, we can make him quit. You're kind of used to this now. Do you feel like they're making a mistake if that's what they're sort of hanging their hat on, that they can break your heart?
They can, make whatever statements they want to make, but all I know is I'm ready to fight now. I'm ready to go. I've been pent up for a while doing this training in and out, day in and day out, so it's time to release it on him.
Dubois is confident in his preparation and plans to unleash everything he's worked on during the fight. He has made sure that he's been training hard and is ready to prove himself against Parker, no matter what they say about his mentality. In his latest YouTube video, Parker gave fans a glimpse into his intense training regimen, showcasing his focused work with his trainers and teammates.
Allow you to do the exercise. If this isn't solid, you're not gonna be able to do this. 5, 6. Try and go back a little bit more. There you go. Nice, David. Beautiful.
The video highlights his dedication and the strong bond he shares with his camp, reinforcing his determination and positive mindset going into the fight. Parker's camp is indeed a happy one, and it's clear he's more than ready for the upcoming challenge against Dubois.
Everything is going beautifully well. I think everything is on track. The fight is next week, so there's still a lot of work to be done this week. But it's nice to be here early to settle in and to adjust and to adapt we've got a great program, great schedule, so happy days in Team Parker.
Meanwhile, Parker's camp appears to be in high spirits, which is often seen as a sign of a fighter's readiness. When asked about his confidence, Parker noted how hard he's been working behind the scenes, traveling from New Zealand to Ireland and now to Saudi Arabia for his final preparations.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that follows your social media, it looks like a happy camp, and it's that old boxing metaphor, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. Just how confident are you coming into this against Daniel Dubois that you can get the job done, and you will get the job done?
I know that Daniel Dubois is high in confidence, and he should be with the performances he put on, but I've been working very, very hard quietly in New Zealand. I went to Ireland and trained, and now I'm here in Saudi Arabia. And I've been waiting for this opportunity, I've been waiting for this chance, and been waiting for a big fight.
Parker expressed that this is his time to shine, and that he's eagerly waiting to prove himself as a two-time world champion. He knows Dubois will come ready, but Parker believes he's in the best shape of his life and prepared to show the world what he's been quietly working on for so long. Dave Coldwell believes Joseph Parker is much more than just a fighter. Despite many considering Parker the underdog, Coldwell thinks Parker has numerous attributes that could cause Daniel Dubois serious problems. He sees multiple ways in which Parker can outbox Dubois, and if Parker wins, he wouldn't be shocked. While Coldwell acknowledges that Dubois is a dangerous fighter, he recognizes Parker's boxing IQ, skills, and toughness as factors that could turn the tide in his favor.
Parker Dubois. I fancy Parker. He's not an underdog in this fight. Everyone makes out as though he's a massive underdog. I'm not saying Dubois can't beat him or isn't going to beat him, but I'm saying what I can see so many ways how so many assets that Parker has that can cause Dubois a lot of problems. And if Parker wins, I'm not going to be shocked.
Parker himself confidently asserts that he is the better boxer, emphasizing that while Dubois possesses grit and fundamental skills, it's his own superior boxing IQ, experience, and resilience that will make the difference on fight night. More than just skill, Parker believes his durability and battle-tested chin will be key weapons in this clash.
Do you believe that fundamentally that you're a better boxer than him?
I do believe I'm a better boxer, but he has shown grit, he's shown toughness, he's shown he does the basics very well. But I do believe that my boxing IQ and toughness as well, and I got a good chin that shouldn't be tested, or hopefully not tested with Dubois landing good shots, but it'll be tested come February 22 because...
Parker also acknowledges that Dubois throws punches in high volume, far more than his previous opponents. Zhang and Wilder and his camp has prepared for relentless pressure, knowing full well that his chin will be tested.
With Zhang and Wilder, they were good fights, but Dubois throws way more punches, he comes forward, a lot more pressure, and he throws punches and bunches, so we're prepared for that version of what he's going to bring.
Parker's statement emphasizes the mental and physical preparation he has undergone, underlining his confidence heading into the fight. In contrast, Dubois has downplayed the significance of facing Parker, comparing it to his past battles. In a face-to-face with Carl Frampton, Dubois boldly declared he was a different animal compared to Zhang.
You know, Zhang's activity in the ring isn't great. He has good moments, but I'm a different animal to this.
And when asked if Parker would be a tougher challenge than Anthony Joshua, he confidently replied, no.
Do you think this is a tougher fight than AJ? No. No? No. You don't think so?
His words suggested that he doesn't see Parker as much of a threat, even implying that he would defeat Parker faster than he did Joshua, whom he knocked out in the 5th round. This overconfidence raised eyebrows, particularly among fans who know that Joseph Parker is no easy opponent. One fan remarked on Dubois' statements, pointing out that Joseph Parker is a well-rounded fighter with a strong defense, quick hands, and elusive footwork, all of which make him a much tougher challenge than Dubois might be giving him credit for.
And that's some serious confidence stuff, because I know that if he don't know, his team know that Joseph Parker, first of all, ain't easy to knock out. Joseph Parker has a complete game, defense included, and and a whole lot of stuff. He's elusive, got a good jab, got some quickness in them hands, and got some foot movement.
Joseph Parker didn't seem rattled by Dubois' comments. In response to Dubois claiming he'd be an easier test than Joshua, Parker stated that comments like that are part of the game. He believed that Dubois' team and his camp are aware of the challenge that lies ahead. Parker also suggested that if Dubois was distracted by talk of a potential future fight with Usyk, it would show in the ring on fight night.
I believe that all these things in boxing that happen is just part of boxing. And I know that he's, not himself, but his team as well, are smart enough to know that this is a challenging fight that they have in front of them. And the pure focus, I'm sure, for them is the fight in front of them now. And I'm sure they're looking at other fights in future, but they have to get through this one first. And I have trained a house down, and if he is distracted, so be it, and it will show on fight night.
In a recent interview, Frank Warren also spoke about Dubois' potential to face Usyk in the future. He reflected on Dubois' past fight with Usyk, where Dubois gave the champion real problems, especially during the controversial 4-minute period when Dubois hurt Usyk. Warren believes that in his current form, Dubois could indeed beat Usyk and make history by becoming the undisputed heavyweight champion.
If he comes through that, he's got a lot of options, but what he wants, the big fight that he wants, is the rematch with Usyk. Very controversial fight. Those 4 minutes in that fight, when he hurt him, I thought it was a legal blow, but I'm not going to go into all that stuff, but he hurt him and he'd give him a problem. He'd probably give him his toughest fight he's had. And, for me, I think he can beat him. I think the form he's in now, I think he can beat Usyk.
But Warren also made it clear that Dubois' immediate focus must be on his fight with Joseph Parker. He emphasized that the upcoming battle is no walk in the park and will be a real test for Dubois.
Interesting that you mentioned Anthony Joshua. You and Eddie Hearn are good pals now, but he sort of said, AJ can jump straight back in with the winner of Dubois against Parker. I wonder if you have a feeling on that.
Well, Derek won an eliminator for the IBF title, Derek Chisora, last Saturday, so he'll have something to say about that. Look, it's there. First of all, he's got to get through a tough fight on the 22nd in Riyadh. against Parker. That is no walk in the park. That's going to be a tough fight.
Despite the controversy surrounding Dubois' call-out of Usyk, there's no denying that Dubois is confident in his abilities, but that confidence may be clouding his judgment as he overlooks the threat Parker poses. Eddie Hearn has offered a reality check, reminding Dubois that Parker is a seasoned fighter with a complete game, from his defense to his boxing intelligence.
Definitely a better fighter than he is a call-out merchant. That's not really his style, and it was probably the wrong kind of time. But listen, he's got to do what he's got to do, and I don't really see any other fights for Alexander Usyk. One thing I will tell you is, don't count your chickens. I don't think Daniel Dubois will necessarily beat Joseph Parker.
With Parker being in the best shape of his career, this fight is bound to be a war, and Dubois will need to prove himself before even thinking about a future clash with Usyk.
I think Joseph Parker's on a tremendous run of form. He's in the shape of his life. He's extremely confident.
Turki Alalshik, the Saudi promoter, has also acknowledged the possibility of a rematch between Usyk and Dubois. He suggested that if Dubois overcomes Parker, it would open the door for another shot at Usyk.
But next, I want if Dubois win in February, I want to see Usyk and Dubois again.
Fabio Wardley noted that Dubois' decision to face off with Usyk, instead of staying focused on his upcoming opponent, could suggest that he's not fully dedicated to the task at hand. Wardley emphasized that Joe Parker should not be underestimated, especially given his current form and the team backing him, including Andy Lee, who has been instrumental in Parker's success.
It does lend to, you're looking past this and you're not paying attention to the immediate opponent in front of you, because Parker is no slouch whatsoever, especially with the run he's on, especially with the confidence he's got, especially with the team behind him and Andy Lee, and they so switched on. They put together such great plans.
Wardley pointed out that while Dubois has gained confidence from his recent victories, it's crucial for him to stay grounded and avoid getting too carried away.
So, yeah, it's not the greatest look, but I think that there has been that change in Daniel that we've seen, though. He's in that, I don't know, he's got a new string of confidence in himself. This obviously coming off those wins and stuff, but we don't want to see him get too carried away with it. You still want to see him stay focused on the task at hand, because it is one hell of a task.
Joe Parker himself didn't miss the chance to highlight the situation, expressing his curiosity about what was going through Dubois' mind when he decided to challenge Usyk. When a reporter asked Daniel about his decision, he explained that challenging Usyk was part of creating excitement around his career, but he also reiterated that his focus remained on defeating Parker first.
Ask him what was going through his head when he was doing that.
Daniel, what was going through your head when you challenged Usyk, considering you had a fight with Joe Parker? Joe wants to know.
It's all about making noise. This is show business, so that's who I want next. First, I've got to get through this guy.
So that was about making noise. That's not you overlooking Joe Parker.
No way. I'm going to do a demolition job on him first, and then I want Usyk next. I'm ready for it, and I'm on a roll, so bring him on.
However, Parker seemed unimpressed, reiterating that Dubois should not overlook the fight in front of him, which only made the situation more tense. Dubois, though confident, acknowledged that he needed to stay focused on the task ahead, but seemed intent on his larger ambitions.
He might be looking too far ahead, planning big fights, other big fights, but you got to fight right in front of you right now.
No, ask him. I got my mind firmly set on you.
It better be.
Man. As the back and forth continued, True Geordie shared his thoughts, agreeing that Dubois has made it clear he wants the undisputed title. However, he also expressed concern that Dubois may be getting ahead of himself. True Geordie pointed out that overlooking Parker could prove dangerous, especially given the New Zealand fighter's experience and recent performances.
Is Daniel Dubois overlooking Joseph Parker? Yeah. So Brian, what's your thoughts?
I think he is ambitious. I think he wants to be the overall champion. He wants that undisputed fight with Usyk. He's made that clear. I do think he's overlooking him a little bit. And I think that could be dangerous. Like when you look at...
Adam Catterall echoed similar sentiments, warning that despite Dubois' power and momentum, Parker has shown the ability to nullify an opponent's strengths. He mentioned how Parker successfully executed a game plan against fighters with serious power, like in his last bouts.
He has proven how to take away the threat of serious power in the way that he boxes. Obviously, Daniel Dubois, we know he's got some serious power, but
are you talking about Wilder in this instance?
Zhang got a lot of power as well.
Yeah, okay.
And Zhang's hands are actually quite fast.
Yeah, they're very fast.
Well, yeah, but his hands are quite rapid. Parker proved in those two fights that he can box to a game plan, stick to a game plan, and obviously execute a game plan.
Catterall also acknowledged that while Dubois may be the favorite going into the fight, Parker has the skills and experience to upset the odds. His ability to adapt and box intelligently could very well disrupt Dubois' plans, making this a more competitive fight than some may expect.
Now, the Dubois thing is an interesting one because Dubois is quicker than the pair of them that we've just been speaking about, right? And he also carries that power.
Yeah.
Do not back against Joseph Parker in this fight because he could nullify this bomb. He could defuse this bomb and he could throw the cat amongst the pigeons with this particular fight. I agree with you. I think Dubois is the favourite going into the fight given the run that he's currently on. But Parker's tail will be up.
He's a live underdog
He's earned
for
this
sure.
opportunity and he could go in there and nullify this and absolutely blow the whole thing up.
Martin Bacol has been vocal about his prediction, stating that he believes Parker will come out on top.
I think Parker will win the fight. I think that's my opinion, but the winner, I'm ready to face him after a Jagba fight.
Bacol views the fight as a crucial step towards his own goal of securing a showdown with Alexander Usyk for an undisputed heavyweight title. He's clear about his intentions, planning to first defeat Efe Ajagba and then challenge the winner of the Dubois versus Parker fight. Bacol feels confident that he has the power to knock Usyk out, even though Usyk has shown little interest in facing him at the moment.
I would love to fight Alexander Usyk. Unification, so that was a beautiful fight because I will knock him nice, cool. So I don't know. That's a beautiful fight. I can see it myself. So I would love to face Alexander Usyk.
And is that likely to be once you are IBF champion in an undisputed title
of course,
fight?
Yeah, that's the only way because right now you say no. The only way is no to beat Ajagba, go beat the winner of Dubois Baka, and now try to negotiate it now to get unification.
On the other hand, Simon Jordan holds a differing view. He appreciates Parker's professionalism and how he conducts himself both inside and outside the ring, but he ultimately believes that Daniel Dubois will be too much for the New Zealander. While acknowledging that the fight won't be a simple one for Dubois, Jordan predicts that he will emerge victorious, potentially securing a stoppage. He commends Parker's approach, but feels that Dubois' style and current form will give him the edge in this contest.
No, he is. I mean, he's a top-class operator in all aspects, both in the ring and outside of the ring. And so you find yourself in a situation when you listen to Joseph Parker that there's not a lot of trash talking that goes on. He can have a go, and he did the other day in the face-off when he had a little bit back and forward with Daniel Dubois with Adi Oladipo on DAZN. But most of the time you get sensible conversation about him. He's very respectful. He's also a very good fighter. I just think that Daniel Dubois is going to be a step too far for him. I don't think it's a formality, but I do think that Daniel will win, and I do think that he'll stop him.
Carl Froch also leans in favor of Dubois, despite recognizing Parker's toughness and experience. Froch points out that Parker, while skilled, lacks the knockout power to compete with some of the other heavyweights in the division.
I just think the big guy beats the little guy in this instance. So it'd be a close fight, it'd be a great fight for both, a great fight for Daniel Dubois to get in there, and it'd be a brilliant win on his resume, and I think he does win. I think even if it goes, imagine if it went the distance, it'd be close. No, I think Dubois wins. I'm not going to sit on the fence. I think Dubois beats Parker in a cracker. He probably gets him out of it.
Froch stated that Dubois, on the other hand, has the physical tools and the confidence stemming from his victories over fighters like Joshua. Froch suggests that if Dubois applies the right pressure and sticks to his strategy, he could break down Parker over the course of the fight, leading to a stoppage.
I think you'd have to say that Daniel Dubois is favourite because he's such a big puncher. And it does get worn out. Parker is fit and strong, but he doesn't punch up there with the big boys. So he'd have to try and box a move and stay out of the way for 12 rounds. And with Daniel Dubois now having the confidence of the AJ win, and he's got that world title, that IBF title, I think if he puts the pressure on Parker after round 5, 6, if he takes it into the second half of the fight, starts closing in, he's got a good jab, Dubois, and he lands with that right hand, and that right hand's crushing.
However, British heavyweight Dave Allen, who has sparred with Dubois, gives credit to both fighters. He acknowledges the growth in Dubois' strength and confidence after his notable wins, but also emphasizes Parker's experience. Allen sees Parker as a seasoned operator, capable of handling the pressure, but believes that Dubois' evolution as a fighter makes him a formidable opponent for anyone in the division.
I can see Parker beating him on points, yeah. But Dubois is getting bigger and stronger all the time. Like Dubois is a different kettle of fish now 2 years ago. So, but I used to look at Dubois and go, he's got a bit of quit in him. He's a bit chinny out. Do you know what I mean? Like, He's not anymore, is he? Like, he's walked through Hergovich, walked through Miller, walked through Joshua.
Both Daniel Dubois and Joseph Parker have shown immense confidence as they approach their highly anticipated clash. Both fighters are eyeing the bigger picture, with Dubois aiming for a showdown with Alexander Usyk, while Parker remains entirely focused on his fight against Dubois. However, after reviewing the opinions of various experts, it's clear that the match is a true 50-50 contest. The pressure seems to be on Dubois, as he has already set his sights on Usyk, and a loss to Parker could seriously damage his reputation. On the other hand, Usyk has made plans for 2 major fights, one of which will be against the winner of Dubois versus Parker. While Dubois looks ahead to his potential Usyk clash, Parker has repeatedly stated that his entire focus is on defeating Dubois, but in a recent interview he suggested that fans could offer ideas for what they'd like to see next.
What is the next big Joseph Parker sketch? You know, what is the next big movie that you've got planned for us? I wonder, you know, you and Andy Lee and the guys there, it's strictly business, but is there anything in the locker? Have we got a social media post? Have we got anything that you can reveal to us, or is it all coming after the fight?
It's all going to come after the fight. But what would be nice? It'd be nice if people gave us suggestions on what we can do, and then that'll open up the ideas. You know, open up the ideas of what we should and what they want to see.
What do you think? Will Dubois' overconfidence hurt him, or can he pull through against Parker to secure his Usyk showdown? And for Joseph Parker, who should he face next after this fight? Let us know your thoughts below.